Hello, I'm Russell with Community Financials, and today I'm speaking with Annie Stefanelli, the owner of the Stefanelli Company, a community management company in Massachusetts, who's been a customer since 2023. Hello, Annie. Thank you for joining me today to discuss your experience working with Community Financials.
My pleasure, Russell. Thank you for having me.
So, first question is, how long have you been a property manager?
Whew, I think Christ was a carpenter when I started, quite honestly. About 25 years in total.
Cool. And how many communities are you managing currently?
I'm a little on the small side. We have 11 under our purview.
Great. And are they condos or HOAs or a mix of both?
Exclusively condominium associations.
Great. And approximately how many homes or units are in that portfolio?
There's a little over 600, I believe. I think I've got about 600 in total between all the various associations.
Good. That's got to keep you busy.
Keeps me very busy.
Prior to working with Community Financials, how did the accounting get done?
Oh, man. So I'm a dinosaur. I'm a creature of habit. So we were for 17 years under my own purview before starting with Community Financials. We were inundated with paper and staples. I used to say was the name of our company, paper and staples. We were just antiquated. Nothing was automated. Nothing was systematic. We were just drowning in the paper, which takes, bogs you down, takes an enormous amount of time. So that's the way my life used to look as a property manager.
You were working with an accounting firm that kind of was also paper-based.
Very much so. They taught me well how to be an antiquated dinosaur.
It's dangerous. You can get a lot of paper cuts and staple.
Right, for sure.
Punctures with that.
For sure.
So did that cause you to have to drive over and drop off checks and pick up paperwork from the accounting office and take you extra time to do all that?
It sure did. So invoices used to come to my office. We would code them with like a green slip, staple it on. One of my assistants would drive it, 20 minutes away to my accounting firm's office. It was time consuming. It became the norm, but it was incredibly time consuming to operate under that parameter.
And if you didn't have an assistant that day, you'd have to drive it over yourself.
That would be me. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing with all this extra time that you're not driving around accounting paperwork?
Ooh, let me tell you, what am I doing? I'm sipping whiskey. It's a good life.
Oh my gosh, you learned how to play the ukulele.
Right, exactly. Now, it has cut off an enormous amount of time. I'm going to say I've been able to cut off, no lie, 15 to 20 hours a week by going automated with your company.
Right, just the accounting side.
Yeah.
Wow. What parts of the Community Financials solution stand out?
I think just how systematic it is, just how well it is set up, that if I need X, I go to Tanya. If I need Y, I go to Jennifer. If I need A, I go to Marta. If I need B, I go to Ethel. There is just so systematic, and the time delay of getting responses back because of how it is set up systematically is so minimal. I ask, it's on my desktop, because that party is just exclusively curtailed to do these things and these things and these things. So it's flawless. It is the systematic part of it, I think, is just what makes it a win across the board.
As the responsiveness of service, is that improved as a result, or about the same as what you were doing before?
It's night and day. It is night and day. I don't yell and send constant emails anymore saying, this is my 19th request. That's a thing of the past. And I laugh when I think, oh my God, for 17 years, I sent countless emails just stating, please, I'm walking into a meeting. Please, can you get me this information? Please, oh my God. And those days are done. And they're laughable now. I'm like, I can't believe I did that for so long. I've never once had to ask for something twice. It's just on my desktop. It's night and day.
Awesome. And you also are able to access information and download a report or in real time from your computer, right?
Absolutely. If a vendor calls me and says, hey, can you check on this payment? I don't have to call somebody to say, can you check on that payment? I can log into Strong Rooms and see with the blink of an eye if that payment has been issued, if it went out a month ago, if it hasn't cleared. I know immediately if it's lost in the mail. It's just flawless.
Do you use the document storage or being able
Yes.
to email out to the community?
Yes, all the time. That's an amazing feature to have condo docs, rules and regs, budgets, insurance, master insurance policies, minutes of meetings, all of that uploaded so that owners can go right there. That's also a time saver for our end. We're not, emailing piecemeal to an owner that wants this or that or the other. It's all uploaded in the portals. It's phenomenal.
They can log in and get it themselves, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. How's the response been from your board members and the homeowners that you work with?
It took them a little bit because they were used to our dinosaur paper ways. So when, I told my boards we're about to step into a new age where we're fully transparent, everything will be at your fingertips as it is mine. They didn't believe it. They were like, no, that's not how it works. They're thrilled. They are thrilled that they have access to this information. It's taken a lot of questions out of board meetings. It's streamlined our board meetings because they've already, been able to go in and see things as well. And yeah, boards love that. My boards are incredibly thrilled with that feature.
Yeah, there's a lot of time spent answering questions for both boards and homeowners that can be, taken care of just by having access online.
For sure.
So that's terrific. What fear did you have about making this change? What fears did you have?
I was terrified about this change. I am not techie. I am not computer savvy. If you asked me what my IP address, we're going to call ended. I have no idea. I know how to open an email. I know my way around an Excel spreadsheet. I can Google search, but I'm not tech savvy. So the going from the hands-on paper that I had operated under to a fully automated online systematic structure terrified me. Like I was crying in my Cheerios, terrified.
So how was the actual change? Was it more or less difficult than you thought?
It was so much less difficult than I thought. I can't believe I lost sleep. I was stressed, thinking I'm not going to be able to do this. My boards aren't going to be able to do this. It was seamless. It was so easy.
I remember your stress. We had numerous conversations.
Sorry about those meltdowns and fears and nerves.
Yeah. So was the fear of change more than the actual change?
Oh, 100%, 1,000%. Yeah. There was nothing to be afraid of. It just was so, for even me, somebody who is not techie, who can't, navigate around, I can navigate every single system.
Did anything surprise you about working with Community Financials?
The quickness of the turnaround of items surprised me. It's unmeasurable how, quick your team is. If they can't get back the same day, you at least get an email to say, we've got this on the docket. We'll get back by the end of business tomorrow. I mean, where does that happen? It just doesn't ever happen. There's nothing I'm chasing. Everything is so quick. It's pretty phenomenal.
How's the quality of the accounting?
Quality's phenomenal. Not to say there isn't an occasional mistake, but we're putting numbers on paper, right? We're not brain surgeons. No one's ever died from a misplaced journal entry. So if there is a mistake in the rareness that it ever occurs, something was classed wrong or an invoice was classed to operating out of reserves, the answer is always, thank you for bringing that to my attention. We have rectified that item. Thank you. It's just exceptional work. And like I say, the very rare, oh my gosh, I missed this. I missed it on a classing. Guys, can you do this? There's no excuses. There's no BS. We didn't do that. Annie, you know, it's just, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We've already rectified the matter. Thank you. It's pretty awesome.
Right. When I was running a management company, I would meet with prospective customers and I'd ask them, why are you leaving who you're currently with? And we just talked about, the two main reasons was lack of responsive service, and the accounting was they couldn't trust what was happening with their
Yeah.
money. And so by working together, at least on the accounting end, you don't have, you get quick answers, and the accounting is in good shape.
It really is. And it impressed a level of trust between boards and managers and Community Financial. You guys are half my company. So when we collaborate like this, it's a reflection on me, the management company, on you, the financial manager, and it has just created this, just unspoken level of trust. It's so transparent. And there's no excuse, like I say, if there is a minor mistake here or there. And my boards have really it's all changed. The whole pretense of how we're operating has changed.
That's wonderful to hear. And if a board member has an accounting question, do you get the answer from our staff and then you relay it back, or do you have sometimes the board member talk with our accounting team? How does that work?
Depends. I think if it's something on like a balance sheet and the equity, if there's a bank loan, and that might be a little beyond my wheelhouse, in knowledge. For that one, I might kick out to the accounting team and say, hey, do you mind, answering these questions? I try to streamline it for Community Financials to get the questions first in advance so your team can be prepared. Oftentimes I can answer it, or I will, ask the question and then go back to the board. I guess it just depends on I don't want to misrepresent something if it's over my head or something on the accounting end. I could never do what you guys do. You guys probably can't do what I do. So, it just depends on the question.
So that gives you a good level of comfort to make sure you're handling all the questions from your board.
Yeah, sure.
How about with kind of the new way that you're operating has allowed you to be able to think about taking on new customers?
Yes, and I have. I've been able to, 3 years ago, I couldn't imagine taking on new clients. We were just so overwhelmed. And now I absolutely could with comfort and know that there wouldn't be any, limitations on the quality of work.
Is our pricing competitive with what you were doing before with an outside accounting firm?
Yeah, and I was fearful of that because I'd been with my outside accounting firm for 17 years. You get comfortable. The fee structure might not, get increased as if it was a new client. So this was a big fear of mine when he was retiring, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to close my doors. What am I going to do? I was fearful that Community Financial's price point would double what I was paying. And I'm a small company. I don't have that benchmark where I have that much profit margin coming in. The fee structure was right in line with what I was accustomed to. It didn't impact my bottom line any more than it had when I had an outside CPA firm. What changed was the quality of work.
Did you have like a fear of getting hit with additional charges and fees? And what does that look like?
Yeah. And like you said, when you were, one of the anxiety things that I had was when we first started talking and you said, oh, send me your portfolio. Let me take a look at it and price it up. And immediately I thought it's not going to align. It's going to be so much more. And then you came back and it was right in line. And I did have fears that, oh my God, there's going to be all these backdoor charges and it's not going to be what it is. And that just never came to fruition. It was, what you present, what you sell is what it is. So it's perfect.
I tried from the beginning to include a lot of things that other people would charge extra for, because one of the worst parts in this industry is, people go with the low cost bidder and then they get the fine print whacks them with all these additional charges that makes it way more expensive.
Yes, for sure.
So what would you say to a manager or a board member who's thinking of working with Community Financials?
Make the change. It was the best thing I ever did, Russell. It changed the way I run my company. It changed my stress level, changed my family life. The fears are not rational. It is terrifying, to make this kind of a change, but they're not rational fears at all. It is flawless. It is seamless. The way that Community Financials is set up, with the different people doing very systematic things, makes this work flawlessly. So I would encourage any board. I'm your biggest fan. I've been, at this with you guys for only a couple of years now, but I would speak this favorably a month into it. That's how easy the transition was for my company. Haven't changed my mindset on that.
One thing I wanted to ask a little bit deeper, if you don't mind. You said it changed how things were with your family. Would you mind sharing about that?
There's just more time. I'm not chasing things at 7, 8 o'clock at night with my former accounting firm because they were answered during the business hours. I have so much more time with my family nights and weekends. It has cut off so much time out of my work life, most often after work, because I was, hitting the emails and asking for things for follow-up in paranoia that it wasn't ever going to come in. So it was taking time out of family time, nights and weekends. And those days are a thing of the past.
Right. Well, enjoy those family moments. And thank you so much, Annie, for sharing your experience with us today.
My pleasure, Russell. Anytime.